The Firearms Policy Coalition and the Second Amendment Foundation have turned up the heat with their third lawsuit this month that attacks states restricting the right to carry, and you could actually help in your state. Stick by and watch this episode of Guns and Gadgets. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. If you're interested in the Second Amendment and our constant fight from the attack of the anti-gunners trying to whittle away what we have, this is the place for you. Please consider subscribing to Guns and Gadgets, because this is where you'll find that information. Now, if you're following this channel, you might recall videos I've done in the last couple of weeks where FPC and SAF, as well as local entities, have gone on the attack, basically, and they're suing everywhere to try to correct the wrongs in some of these anti-gun states. They launched a case in New York, and they also launched a case in New Jersey, and now they're going after the state of Maryland. But stick by and watch this all the way through, because at the end I'm going to tell you how you could be instrumental to helping save your state, and they need your help. So in this Maryland case, Firearms Policy Coalition, along with the Second Amendment Foundation, have joined up, and I'm going to read from the list because it's quite a few of them. They've joined up with the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, and Maryland Shall Issue. And this federal lawsuit seeks to restore the rights of the citizens of Maryland to carry a firearm without a permit. Similar to the lawsuits in New York and New Jersey, Maryland has a specific level you need to reach in order to obtain your government permission slip, your permit to carry, and in Maryland it's called good and substantial reason. So if you go before your licensing authority and you just put down, I want to carry a gun because it's my right, that's not good and substantial to many of them, and you won't get your permit. Nowhere in the United States Constitution does it say you need a good and substantial reason. In fact, the Second Amendment actually just recognizes that you already have that right. The lawsuit says that Maryland's laws amount to a total ban on the right to carry for law-abiding citizens. This lawsuit also says, similar to the other two that I mentioned previous, that the Supreme Court's stance on the Second Amendment says that these policies of choice shouldn't be even a thing, should be just wiped off the table. I'll read you a quote from Adam Kraut from Firearms Policy Coalition, solid dude. He said that Maryland's laws, such as its good and substantial reason requirement, destroy the right to bear arms in public, and by doing so violate the Second and the 14th Amendments. As the Supreme Court has already held, the enumeration of the right in our Constitution takes that policy choice off the table. Maryland, like all states, must respect the fundamental individual right to keep and bear arms and allow law-abiding people to carry loaded, operable arms in public for all lawful purposes. And I couldn't agree more. I'll give you a quote from Alan Gottlieb from the Second Amendment Foundation. He says, anti-gun Maryland officials have been using this dodge for years. By setting this arbitrary standard, state bureaucrats have been routinely denying Maryland citizens their right to bear arms. The state cannot be allowed to continue this discriminatory practice because it essentially gives public officials the power to deny someone's fundamental, constitutionally protected rights on a whim. Well said. Now, I mentioned Maryland Shall Issue is in on this as well, and I'll read you a quote from them. On behalf of our members, Maryland Shall Issue is proud to announce that we have partnered with Firearms Policy Coalition, the Second Amendment Foundation, and Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms in bringing a new legal challenge to Maryland's unconstitutional wear and carry permit requirements. And this is the Maryland Shall Issue president, Mark Pennick. He continued, the good and substantial reason requirement for issuance of a permit imposed by Maryland law has long been used to effectively disqualify the vast majority of law-abiding Marylanders of their right to carry a handgun for the lawful purpose of self-defense. The time has come to end Maryland's subjective and discriminatory law and regulations. The people of Maryland have a fundamental right to protect themselves in public. And one last quote, this is from Brandon Combs, he's the Firearms Policy Coalition president. He said, the right to bear arms is not a second-class right, nor a mere privilege that only some lucky people are granted by the government on a case-by-case basis. It is constitutionally and morally offensive for the Maryland government to criminalize the exercise of this fundamental human right. The Constitution itself provides the only justification necessary for law-abiding adults to exercise their fundamental individual right to bear arms in public. Firearms Policy Coalition will proudly fight to restore the full scope of the Second Amendment in the old line state and throughout the nation in this and other cases. There's going to be a lot of cases rolling in several states that they'll probably make their way through the appellate process, and who knows, they might make it in front of the Supreme Court as it's currently situated, and that includes what we think is a Second Amendment friendly majority. I am a member of both Firearms Policy Coalition and Second Amendment Foundation. If you're not, please consider joining. I'll also have a link down below to both of them so you can join, and also to this particular case, if you want to help donate to the cause. Now, I did mention earlier that you could be instrumental in helping in a lawsuit in your state. I'm going to read you something real quick from Firearms Policy Coalition. They are going on the offensive, and they're willing to sue any state that treats the Second Amendment like a second-class right. So, real quick, I'll run through this. Firearms Policy Coalition is urgently seeking individual and FFL plaintiffs for a number of lawsuits that are being prepared to challenge laws and policies that infringe on fundamental rights, including, but not limited to, laws and policies that prevent individuals from purchasing and or possessing so-called assault weapons, semi-automatic firearms with standard characteristics, and high-capacity magazines, standard magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. Now, if your state has an AWB or a mag ban, you should be thinking about helping this, and I'll give you the information here down below on how you can help as well. The second one is laws and policies that prevent 18 and 20-year-old young adults, anybody under 21, from obtaining handguns from FFLs and carrying loaded operable arms in public for self-defense. The third is laws and policies that prevent individual adults over the age of 18 from carrying loaded handguns and other arms outside their home. Number 4, laws and policies that prevent individuals from acquiring and or possessing handguns and other arms without first acquiring a purchase permit. The next one is laws and policies that prevent individuals from acquiring or possessing firearms due to a conviction from a non-violent crime or a mental health adjudication that did not involve an involuntary commitment. Next is laws that prevent honorably discharged veterans from acquiring or possessing firearms because they've been classified as, quote, a mental defective, end quote, due to the agency's determination that they lack the mental capacity to contract or manage his or her own affairs. If you or someone you know meets the criteria I just mentioned, or if you would be interested in participating in litigation as a supporting FFL, you're going to want to and I'll have this down below. You're going to want to contact Firearms Policy Coalition on the web. It's firearmspolicy.org/hotline, or by email, potentialplaintiffs@fpchq.org, or by telephone, 855-252-4510. That's the FPC Legal Action Hotline, and it's available 24/7, 365. All right, guys and gals, if you got anything out of this video, if it fired you up, or if it angered you, please smash that thumbs up to destroy this YouTube algorithm, because they do not want this information out. Believe me, the last thing the anti-gun big media wants is information getting out on their platform of how we're fighting back. So if you could help share this video, that helps tremendously, and consider joining this growing freedom family so that more people get the news they need to know. As a quick reminder, I have a giveaway going with Big Daddy Unlimited for a Psionics Aurora Black night vision camera. Only a couple days left. That runs through the 20th of November, 2020. Not sure when you're watching this. I'll have that linked up above and down below as well. Get in on it while you can, and good luck. Hope you win it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys and gals so much more than you realize. You all are a huge part of this growing family, and until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.